She mentioned Andrei Arlovski in that interview. We didn't know it, but on Saturday, it ended up being his last fight in the UFC. And what a freaking legend. I mean, you throw that word around. This man, to me, is a Hall of Famer. To me, is another pioneer of the sport for different reasons, a trailblazer. As I said at the top of the show, most fights in UFC heavyweight history, 42. Most wins in UFC heavyweight history, 23. Third most finishes in UFC heavyweight history, 11. Total UFC fight time, 6 hours and 49 minutes, 58 seconds, most in heavyweight history. Number one, most significant strikes landed in heavyweight history, 1585. Total heavyweight strikes landed, number one, 1907. Second most fights in UFC history with 42, one behind Jim Miller, 43. Second most wins with 23. Number one, 26, Jim Miller. And how about this? Only Jim Miller, Clay Guida, Max Holloway, Frankie Edgar, and RDA have spent more time in the octagon than one Andrei Arlovski. The Pitbull, the former heavyweight champion, he joins us now. My old friend. Is he there? Oh, he's not. All right. After all that?
Ariel, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yes, I'm here.
Oh, you're here?
Yeah, keep talking, please.
Okay.
Yes.
I was just
Keep
showering
talking.
you. I was showering you with all kinds of praise. Did you hear all of those stats?
Yeah, I heard it, and yeah, thank you.
Wow, you changed your facial hair again. I saw on Instagram you had a mustache like a day ago. What happened?
Wives kicked me out from the house, so I had to shave. And plus, I got comments, look like cop from 70s, 80s, and also one of my dear friends says I look like a porn star from 70s,
Sure.
80s as well. So I decided to shave it.
Okay, fair enough. Well, you look great, and it's great to talk to you.
Thank you.
And it's good to see you. Thank you for the time. And so it is, in fact, true. That was the final fight on your UFC contract?
Yeah.
And your decision to not look for a new contract, their decision, mutual decision, how would you describe it?
No, I knew it was going to be a last fight. UFC proposed to do something, but I didn't want it because my chapter in UFC is closed, but definitely not an MMA career. So that's why I decided nothing to do with, I mean, like UFC proposed me something, but I said no. And yeah, it was last fight.
And can I ask,
at this point, yeah.
Why did you say no? Why were you not interested in continuing? Why did you feel like this should be the end?
No, obviously, I heard some rumors because I'm old, etc., 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 and I knew I'm not going to get another contract, and that's why I didn't want to do. I mean, like I didn't want to any goodbye videos or whatever it is. But I really appreciate, like as usual, UFC family, Dana Hunter, and I'm not done fighting. So I'm done with UFC, but I'm not done fighting, and more shit coming.
Okay.
FRM and Abe working on some stuff for me.
Yes, the great Abe Kawa. Did you tell them beforehand? Did you tell them this? Okay.
They asked me, do I want? I said no. And some people, thank you, people who thinking they didn't do anything good, but yeah, UFC proposed me, and I read some comments. Yeah, everything good, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, the fans were upset on your behalf. They were very, a lot of your loyal fans. And so
I'm upset too on my performance, but anyway, it is what it is.
Yes, and when I say upset, I don't mean they're upset towards you and your performance. They felt like you deserved something.
I know. Yeah, understood.
But that was your decision.
Yes.
Why didn't you want a big? Just because this is the end of your UFC run and you're I went through all the stats. Number one. Why didn't you want something?
I don't know. Get emotional before the fight, etc., etc. And actually, they showed some video when I was in the locker room. I got some tears. It's unfocused my shit. So no.
Okay. Did you bring your family there because it was the last UFC fight? No. You never bring your family, right?
Once my wife came when I fought World Series of Fighting against where I was my chin was broken into places.
Was it Rumble Johnson?
Anthony Ramble Johnson, yeah. And she spent whole night with me at the emergency room. Next day we flew back to Chicago, full mouth of blood, so it's not pleasurable shit. So I said, what, business is a business, family is family. Family, stay home, please, and take care of kids, and I'll see you next day.
Okay, and your kids have never, as they've gotten older, they've never said they wanted to see you. No, you just tell them.
No, of course they want. They want. Of course they want to see me, and especially middle one, this one, Dominic, he wants to see live, but I said no. Oldest one, he's understood, Andrusha, that's a business. They did work, but middle one, he's turned 6 just 1 month ago, 2 weeks ago, and no.
Will you take them to a fight just to be spectators, or you don't want them to go at all?
All the time when I'm going to as a guest fighter to UFC events, I'm bringing my oldest one. Maybe I'm gonna bring a middle one, Dominic, but definitely I don't want them to fight.
You don't want them to fight.
No.
And why is that?
First of all, they might be great. I don't know. Maybe in MMA, I think for oldest one, he's a baseball focus. Dominic, I don't know. And Dora definitely doesn't need to do fighting for life. And why I'm upset about to be in MMA or like any combat sports, because a priori they're already like in a better place than I was like 24 years ago, and they're not hungry. So just to be like a fighter because father was a fighter doesn't work for me. For me, it's better if I'm talking about my oldest one, son, Andrei. I rather achieve him in baseball, MLB, get the ring. So, and obviously he's doing okay. He's choose coaches from a team choose him one of the best team in his age in the whole country. So I'm very excited about this. So better focus on baseball. Plus, great example, Japanese player who signed like mega big contract. So, and this terms in this terms about money, I'm selfish, of course. I want him to be the best one in the MLB. He got everything for this.
How old is he?
In August he's going to turn 12.
Okay, and what position?
Time flies.
Yeah, crazy.
You know what position? He's a catcher.
Oh,
sometimes he pitch. But everybody like hitting the balls, right? And I spoke with what's the best position. I asked many coaches, and I talked to Malky. He said, you know what, catcher, he has the longest life in the sport. So I'm a good example. Like I'm Benjamin Button of UFC. So, and he can play like till age. I don't know till what age he can play in if he's going to be a catcher. So we'll see. But I spoke with the coaches who choose him, and he says he's going to rotate his like opposition. We'll see.
You're gonna have.
I think it's smart.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's smart because, like two previous teams, like coach told them you're going to play here, and that's it. This guy, he's going to rotate. Obviously, better experience, more knowledge than me, definitely, and we'll see.
You're gonna have Malky and Abe represent your son.
Why not?
Yeah.
They did very good job with me in MMA, and obviously everything happened for the reason. But sometimes I'm thinking about what if I would meet Malky and Abraham back in 2000 when I started all this journey in UFC and the United States. So it might be a different story, but I'm happy where I am right now, and everything happened for the reason.
When you left the cage on Saturday, I know you were upset. You said with your performance, but was there any part of you that was, thinking about the career, the journey, all the fights in the UFC, everything that you've done? Were you reflective? Were you emotional? Were you thinking of any of that?
Be honest with you, I thought I'm gonna be like crying baby. I'm gonna cry like a little bitch. But as of today, I'm sit down, I'm driving, and this is not end of the life. Obviously, I spent the biggest amount of time training and fighting, especially in UFC, but I didn't sign a new contract with UFC. I left UFC, my chapter in UFC done, but life is not over. So like I said, I'm very excited, and actually, I'm very happy how my feeling right now about how I hold it when I left octagon on my way back to the doctor office to check all the stuff after the fight. That's good. Of course, I get a little bit of emotion, and actually it's funny because right after the fight we went to we get back to the hotel, and first round management gave me a nice present, nice ring with some diamonds with a Pitbull logo. Ape says it's a molded face of my Maximus. And when he gave a speech, and I got tears. Yes, I'm not gonna lie, in my eyes. And it was like my coaches, couple more friends, and people thought he's doing proposal to me. That was funny. Everybody started clapping at the restaurant. I said, stop. It was funny, but it is what it is. Yeah, it's actually ring very nice, and his speech was very nice, and thank you for him.
So regarding the performance on Saturday and even the last couple ones, why do you feel like they haven't gone your way?
No, I knew. Actually, the UFC very nice. Listen, I was the oldest, probably the oldest UFC fighter for a long time who fought in the UFC. So I knew sooner or later it's gonna come in. Yeah, I didn't even bother Malky or Ibrahim talk about like extend my contract or give me a new one, because I knew.
And how did you feel about the fight on Saturday?
Horrible.
Why?
What do you mean, like my performance or about the fight?
Both. Performance and fight.
Performance horrible, and no doubt about he's fucking strong, Budai. And another point why, like you asked me before, Ariel, why I didn't want to do anything like with goodbye stuff. Hunter called me like I supposed to fight on June 15th in Apex, but I said, listen, do you deserve this? I said, okay, 2 more weeks extra workout, extra work, extra camp. Yes, let's do it. And he moved from 15th to 29th. And like I said, I knew they want to do something, but I said, no, don't do it, please. And
okay,
yeah.
I mean, your last UFC fight, it couldn't be at the Apex. It had to be in front of people, right? I mean, it's not the same.
No, that's why Hunter.
Yeah, I'm happy he did that.
Moved me from 15th to 29th.
You had a few at the Apex. What did you think about fighting there?
I love fighting in the Apex. Everything on schedule, on time. Bam, 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 play.
You just want. You're so businesslike. No emotion. No. You don't want the crowd. You don't want the hype. You don't want the buzz. Nothing like that.
Listen, no, of course, everybody wants to fight in front of the big audience, but it's some people at Apex too as well, and someone have to fight for in Apex too. Why not me?
Okay, and why you say the fight was? You said it was bad. Why do you think it was bad? Why do you think?
It was bad because I didn't accept he's gonna give me pressure all the time, and it didn't go in my game plan. I didn't have room to like throw a lot of kicks. He all the time close the distance. So and during the fight when in first round when he put me against the cage and I reversed, and second and third time, every time when we were in the clinch, I felt he's super strong.
And so most people at 45, most fighters aren't starting a new chapter. You say definitively you're going to keep fighting. This isn't the end of your career. This is the end of a chapter, but you're starting. Why do you want to still fight? At your age, with everything you've accomplished?
I want to beat a couple more records. Okay. I want to beat a couple more records.
Which records?
One of them, Bernard Hopkins. He fought at 48 last fight, and he was a champion. He won that fight, and obviously, Uncle Dana helped me to buy a new house, but I need to pay bills, and I got newborn baby, so I need to do something like a couple more years.
How many kids do you have now?
3.
3. And how old's the new one?
Baby just turned today, third. She turned 2 days ago, 7 months.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
12, 6, 7 months. Thank you.
Wow, 12. You have a whole range there. 12, 6, 7 months. What's it like having a newborn after you have a 12-year-old? and a 6-year-old? Like you're past the diapers, now you're back to the diapers and all that.
Listen, I don't know. It sounds good or not, and especially on your. I don't know. I like to change the diapers to my kids.
Yeah, it's fun.
Listen, I wasn't. I was in a camp, and I didn't see my kids like for pretty much like for 2 months. Yeah, and just for weekends. And no, I love to do what I'm doing. We're going on a vacation. I bought it, how it's called, the kangaroo, whatever it is. I'm gonna carry my baby around for sure, nonstop.
I love that, the Bjorn, where you put the baby here and you attach it. My favorite thing. My favorite thing, and they sleep on your chest.
Yeah. Yep.
It's the best. It's the best. Where did you do the camp?
Yesterday, actually.
So, sorry, go ahead. Tell me. Yesterday.
When I chefed yesterday, she started crying. I thought I saw all these videos before. I said, "What the fuck? What's wrong?" No, she's like, "Oh," you started crying. I said, "Oh, baby, it's a papa. Come on." But yeah, it was funny.
Where did you do your camp?
One more time.
The camp that you just had, the training camp, were you in Albuquerque?
No. It was here in American Top Team, Coconut Green.
Okay.
But I had the rental apartment, so I just would eat, sleep, train. And for weekends, sometimes I came home. Like I took my kids. We went to pretty much when it was good weather. Every Sunday we went to shoot in skits, and that's it.
Wow. So even if you're in the same state, you're staying away from them during the training camp.
No, of course, business is business. It's old school. Yeah.
Yeah, man, you're old school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you call me old?
No, old school.
Yeah, I know. You called old school. I know.
And so, okay, so you want to get to 48. Do you want to get to 50? Is that the goal?
No.
48?
No. Yeah.
And how does your wife feel about that? Like, maybe she doesn't want you to fight anymore.
So at this point, doesn't matter what she wants. She has to support me, and she knows what I love to do. That's my passion. So I love what I'm doing. So just just support me, and that's it. And she's cool about this for sure.
She doesn't say, "Oh,
she's worried about me. She's worried, of course. She's like, but listen,
you're gonna do what you're gonna do. No one's telling you no.
Exactly. Don't tell me what to do.
Okay. Sorry. And what? No, I know. What? Do you have a plan? Do you already know what you're going to do? Where you're going to fight next?
Next.
Okay. Tell us.
No, not yet, but soon.
You have something already?
I'm pretty sure, yes.
Okay. You're excited about it?
100%.
You even
but more excited to go like tomorrow for 10 days vacation with my family, and I'm more excited about that. But when I come back, hard work again.
Sure. And do you have like a fight, a date, and everything, or is it just like you have a promotion that you're going to fight for?
Around some, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Around.
This is exciting. Can I ask you, like, can I guess what it is, or would you rather me not guess?
You can guess, but I'm gonna sit like before I never smile. Now I a little bit smile, and you told me why Russians never smile, or people who came from Europe never smile, especially from Soviet bloc. Now I'm more American. I'm smiling, but I'm gonna be like.
I know you were terrifying.
You can guess, but and look in my eyes if I'm gonna cannot. But yeah,
I don't think I've ever been more afraid of a fighter than I was afraid of you in the early days.
Yes, and we get some good memories, and actually some of your questions and my answers became like
legendary.
Yeah, exactly.
But I thought you were going to kick my ass. I legit thought you were going to like bite my head off.
But listen, I have to respect this, and I have to admit, you always were so professional. You always were so like nice to me, and that's called class to me.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course.
Is it going to be MMA, or is it going to be a different type of combat sport?
It's going to be something.
Okay. I'm excited. Will you fight again this year?
And this year, most likely, yes.
Okay. Wow. And how is your body feeling? Like, do you feel like you need more recovery? Do you have to take... No.
Nothing happened. Headbutt and one scratch here. Nothing.
That's it. But even when you're training, like the bumps and bruises of training camp, do you feel like it takes you longer to feel?
No, but it's different. I never took that injury seriously, and it's part of the work, part of the job. You have to like I'm not even pay attention.
Wow.
Of course, shit happens, but yeah, if it's not something critical, you can't work out and you need some medical help ASAP. So that's a different story. But bruises, I don't know, cuts, little cuts, that's nothing.
Your body's not sore.
Definitely.
All that.
No, body of course sore after good, especially good workout. You know, all your muscles, you feel it, but especially at age 45. But no, it's good.
Okay.
I like it. That's mean you're alive.
Do you think that, like when you started, you know, now I read all these things, #1 wins, #1 fight, da, 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 da. Could you have imagined any of this? Or did all of this succeed what you thought that was going to happen in your career?
No, and I can call myself like really lucky fighter, I guess. Fighting 24 years in the United States, how many, like almost 20 years in the best organization before, from 2000 till 2009, from 9, and I come back in 2013, 11, 9, 20 years. 20 years in the best league, MMA league, to see how it was in the beginning and where is right now. So this is like, wow.
It's unbelievable. You've been in so many different eras, and your second stint in the UFC was longer than your first, and we think so much about your first.
Correct.
Crazy. It's your longevity is unbelievable.
Exactly. If you remember my first manager, Leo Karolinsky from Chicago, remember?
Of course.
He told me, even when Dana White criticized you or something, never say anything bad about Dana White and about UFC. And I guess this is part of why I stay like in UFC so long. We have a lot of good example, like for example, Tito Ortiz, you know?
Yeah.
He was a champion. He says this and that, Dana that. No, I was quiet. First of all, because my English wasn't that good like as today, and secondly, listen, my mentality, it was, you know, he's a boss. He probably has his own vision of how runs the company, what to say, what not to say, and I always kept my mouth shut. And thank you, because of UFC, what I have right now, it's because of UFC pretty much, and have my hard work.
Mm-hmm. So even if there were times where you wanted to say something, you just said, bite my tongue, right?
No, of course. Well, especially after the fight, Jake O'Brien. When I fought him, it was my last fight. First of all, I didn't fight for, I believe, like 7 or 8, 9 months. I didn't fight. I was waiting because it was last fight at that time in UFC, and I supposed to fight. Affliction came up.
Yeah.
Affliction, Strike Force, Elite XC, all these organizations, and of course I want to either like resign new contract for good money on my terms, or leave and go over there. So I didn't fight for a long time, and I was in my mind. Leo told me, you have to just win. That's it. How, it doesn't matter, just win. I was accurate, you know. I was like try to save like my energy, like, you know, like this and that, and I won by decision. And I remember in press conference. Dana, because at that time, if you remember, like all fighters were like at the table, like for interview, for answering some questions, and I got critics, and I said, "Yeah, I'm sorry, you're right." Of course, I would say probably, "Oh, come on, listen, give me a break." But no, I kept my mouth shut, and that works.
I remember that UFC 82 in Columbus, they put you on the untelevised prelims. It wasn't even on TV. We couldn't even watch the fight because it was you were like Francis before Francis. You fought out the contract. You were on a winning streak, and then you went to Affliction. You got to hang out with Donald Trump, right? You got to meet him.
Yeah. Did you enjoy that press conference when he hosted phone calls, interviews?
When he did what? Which one?
Remember, he was a host for interviews. It was like 5 or 6 fighters.
Who, Dana? Dana or Trump?
No. With Affliction, and Dana
yes,
was host. And remember, I called him Mr. President, because I thought he was involved somehow in Affliction, and everybody started laughing. But when Dan Lambert gave ATT facility for some rally, it was his son was Donald Trump Jr. And I told him back in 2009 on a press conference or phone calls, Q&A, I called your father Mr. President, and everybody started laughing. You see, I was right. 10 years later, he became a president. So
right.
it was kind of funny, you know.
Yes.
Sometimes not sometimes. At that time, I didn't understand. Like, president, you can call only president of the country. But like back in Russia, president can be any president of some company, and they call him Mr. President forever. Yeah, I called and I was right. It was right. We left a little bit, and we'll see what's going to happen this year in November.
By the way, why do you think, you were talking about that period with Affliction and Elite XC and Strikeforce, around 15 or so years ago now. Why do you think there aren't a lot of, competitors now? It doesn't feel like there's a lot of other options like there was back then, people throwing around money, giving fighters opportunities outside of the UFC. Why do you think now in 2024 there are less MMA promotions than there was back then?
No, first of all, UFC today is the biggest MMA organization, televised, have a lot of contracts with TVs, advertising, and no doubt about Dana White and the company doing a great job. They know how to promote themselves and a sport. And UFC today is one of the mainstream sports on TV. Mm-hmm. And if you remember when it was pandemic, only Dana White was able to do keep doing some fights. I believe only one or two shows were canceled in New Jersey or New York, and after that, like Miami, it was like open for the fights, and they got Apex, so they printing money. Good for them.
Did you get a chance to speak to him on Saturday to say goodbye?
No. I was on prelims, come on. And he usually comes for main card.
What's your favorite UFC fight?
When I beat Tim Silva for interim title, of course.
Legendary.
It was on a February 4th, and I gave to my birthday on February 4th. We fought on February 5th, and I gave to myself a very good birthday present.
UFC 51.
Correct.
Crazy. Look at that. And you were just fought at 303.
Yeah, but my first UFC was UFC 28.
28.
And actually I thought if it's always a hope, right? If you get if I'm gonna get another contract, I would love to that UFC. My last fight in UFC would be on UFC 328. 300 UFC later, but obviously it's a couple more. But who knows? We'll see.
You were 21 years old. You were 4-1. November 2000 was UFC 28. Randy Couture was on that card. Josh Barnett, Babalu Sobral, Kevin Randleman, Maurice Smith. These fighters obviously aren't.
Maurice Smith,
yeah, crazy.
Maurice Smith beat Randy Couture, I believe, right? At that time?
Yeah. And look at you. And there, and we're showing the photo of you, the difference. Also, the thing about you was every fight you look different. Different facial hair, different hair, long hair, short hair, mustache, beard, goatee. You always look different. You're like a chameleon.
Yeah. Hopefully only outside chameleon, not inside.
Sure. That's a good point.
Straightest fuck inside how it was 24 years ago.
Yes. Well, congratulations on a great run, Andrei, in the UFC.
Thank you.
Legendary run. I think you should be in the Hall of Fame. Do you agree?
Maybe one day. It's not up to me. We'll see.
Would you want that?
But somebody mentioned, I believe even Bruce Buffer announced future Hall of Famer before the fight, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you like that?
I guess so, because every player or fighter or boxer, MMA fighter, I don't know, he wants to be in the Hall of Famer, of course.
Yeah, it's nice.
Of course.
I think you should be there, and I'm interested and curious to see what you're going to do next. So keep us posted, please. You're going to fight again. You have something 100%. On the table. A big deal. Yes.
I can promise you that you're going to find out first. One of the first people.
Well, I went from first to one of the first. Nah, then I'm going to be 10th. It's either
obviously it's going to be between me, Malky, Ibrahim, and you next.
Okay, fair enough. All right, I'll take that. Fourth. I
mean, from outside the company.
Fair enough. Thank you so much, Andrei. Good luck to you. Congratulations, and enjoy your holiday.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Goodbye.
There he is, the great Andrei Arlovski, the Pitbull. Made his UFC debut, UFC 28, November 2000. Frank was like, what? How old were you, Frank, in 2006? Who, me? Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, that's really... That's an incredible career. Andre Fili coming up, Nikisa Bedarian coming up. What a run for Andrei Arlovski. Emotional stuff with Michelle Watterson, right? Off the jump.
Yeah, I thought so.
Off the jump, she was very emotional. I love Andre. I was legitimately terrified of him. I'm not going to lie. Was absolutely
during the interview?
No, back in July of 2008, Frank, I did an interview with Andrei Arlovski prior to Affliction Day of Reckoning. And we were in Anaheim, California. And I asked him about a story, that was about a woman and a fighter and this and that. And this is actually like my first viral moment, Frank. This is the first time that I had any kind of interview explode. I mean, very early in my career. And it turned into a whole thing online. People loved it. They made T-shirts. They made hats. I think he even sold hats and T-shirts of his own. We actually have the clip. Here's the clip. Here's me and Andrei Arlovski in Anaheim, July of 2008. Okay, I got to ask you this final question, though, because there was a lot of talk online. I'm sure you know about it. Tim Sylvia and your former ex-girlfriend. What was up with all that stuff?
You know what? I'm not interested, and it's his business. And if he did something with him, I just want to ask you, hey, Tim, how's taste my pee, okay?
All right.
About Tim Sylvia.
It's a little soap opera, right?
I don't care.
All right. Well, strong words from Andrei Arlovski. Clearly. How's taste my PPP, Frank? That's what he said. He was saying that. Did you understand?
I did understand that.
And that exploded. And not only did it explode, when I got to the hotel afterwards, I saw him and his former manager, and I legit thought they were going to kick my ass. I was terrified. But as you can see, he's a lovely guy. He's just a big old teddy bear. You just kind of have to get past the hard shell. But that was a big moment for us. And I thought he hated me, but then I saw him start to sell the merch. I was like, wait a second, maybe they don't hate me after all. So anyway, that's a classic right there. How's taste my PB? I really like, I sucked everything out of that one. I really, I mean, even today the caption was how's taste.
That's a throwback clip right there. 240p on the quality.
So the clip that I sent you was like someone who ripped the clip.
Okay.
The original didn't look that bad. I mean, it looked bad. 2008. I mean, it's
a long time.
But that's a little choppy. It is kind of crazy that I'm sending you like a bootleg version of my own interview.
Was it recorded on like a Motorola Razr?
No.
That's what it looked like. Audio was off.
Yeah. You get the point. You get the point.
Oh, we got the point for sure. Still, the audio came.
Sure.
I'm happy to
I was not happy after that interview. Actually, I think he was most unhappy, and then I was crapping my pants.